Good afternoon. I have the pleasure of sitting with Gethin Jones to catch up with him where he is on his books and his business. Good afternoon, Gethin.
Good afternoon, Stef. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Gethin, it's been a few months since we last met. How's the business going, and what have been the notable highlights over the past few months?
Well, yes, it's been a really, really good last 3 months, and I suppose the highlights really is just seeing the areas where I best fit and within my programs. So some people would have seen on LinkedIn the prisons is really starting to develop, and they're looking at really trying to create a rehabilitative culture. So they've asked me to go along to do some talks and get involved in workshops about how to change staff's understanding of how to interact with the prisoners that they were on a daily basis. So that's really, really good. The local authority have really actually now started to take on board my knowledge and experience, and I've created some workshops which are called the Art of Communication, and this explores how practitioners can develop really high levels of communication and trusted relationships with the most vulnerable groups to kind of support and initiate change. And then I suppose what my vision always was that I know that my skills and abilities can be crossed over to the private sector. And I had a company called CVM, which is a contractors company in Portsmouth. We've got 3 offices, one in Portsmouth, one in Southampton and one in London. And they're a building company. And they'd also taken on my programme, and they found it really, really beneficial. And they've now put me on for 2 days a month to do a brand new appraisal system and a supervision process to increase emotional intelligence, self-awareness within the building industry.
Wow. So can I just take you back to the first of those?
Yes.
The prisons.
Yeah.
Now, did I hear you say it's actually the staff you're working with, not the prisoners?
It's the staff. So what we know is for any real change, it needs to change within the staff. So it's the staff's relationship with the prisoners that they're looking after. So a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with the prison officers is about people trying to understand the person behind the file, understand the backstory. When you understand the backstory, you can better understand how to engage with that prisoner that can support change. Yeah, so the governors are really kind of on board with it, and so I'm kind of mixing with a lot of the strategic level in being able to look at how I can help.
Excellent. And again, I saw your LinkedIn recently, and I saw the letter of commendation, which was a great accolade from that particular prison, so congratulations. But that's only part of the Gethin Jones story, isn't it? So the other one we spoke about last time was about the first book or books.
Yep.
I wonder if we can have maybe a sneak preview of where we are with it, when it will come out, when it will be launched. And you also mentioned in that, last time we spoke, a second book. Now, I think there was a big and a little book or something, wasn't there?
Yep.
Where are you with that?
So the little book is done. That's going to be around about 100 pages. So that is now written. It's now gone off to the editorial team that are doing the proofreading, and they'll have a nice, enjoyable task with that. And we're now also looking at the design, and I've got some characters within the book, and I've actually kind of used some friends that I want to kind of be in part of those characters. So yeah, I'm going through doing the imagery side of it at the moment, but I'm hoping for it to be published either just before or just after Christmas.
And that's the first one, that's the little book. Where's the big book?
So the big book, I'm just starting now, so I'm just going through the index of the different stories, because as people are aware, the first book is also in relation to introducing a change development programme. The change development programme is related to the story of Scrooge, which is really good because it's Portsmouth and we've got the Dickens history here. And the second book is what's going to be called the authority book, so it's going to give a lot more understanding of my life and my story, but it's also going to be very much linking to the different characters within my change development programme as well. So the first book is about 19,000 words. The second book is going to be around about 60,000 words.
So, as I say, big and little in that sense.
Yeah.
So, come back to the first book, come back to the little book. What are you trying to achieve with that publication, and what would you say is your target audience?
So the target audience is 2 parts within it. So one is it's about a personal development book. So it's anybody that feels that they're stuck or trapped in a way of thinking. And what the whole programme looks at is addictive behaviours. It's behaviours that get in the way of us actually doing what it is that we really want to do. And we call these autopilot behaviours. And what I call these is the Scrooge within. Okay, so we've all got a Scrooge, and the Scrooge is a negative part of self that sits within the mind that holds us back from doing what we do. And then the other characters are also related to the story of Scrooge, and they'll take you through the process of how you can overcome and change Scrooge into a masterful change.
Can't wait to read it. And the target audience really is anyone that really wants to actually change their behaviour, their outlook, their attitude.
Their attitude, yeah. Exactly.
And again, it's quite a sort of small book, therefore fairly straightforward to maybe absorb.
And I've had some people read it, the manuscripts, and all they've said is, I want to know more.
Great accolade for that as well. So if I then can take you back to where we started and your core business.
Yep.
We've talked about the prisons, the local authority and the company, CDM company. So where do you go next? What do you see as the next 12, 24 months horizon with your business? And I think at the moment you're still a sole trader?
Sole trader at the moment.
So where do you go from here?
So I've got kind of a bit of a plan going forward. So like you said, is I'm a sole trader at the moment. Next year I plan to take it to becoming a limited company. And what that limited company is going to be is that's going to be very much in relation to selling development training packages to private companies that can increase high levels of emotional intelligence, self-harm awareness, high levels of communication, reduce dysfunction, which will increase their bottom lines. Okay, so that's kind of the limited side of it. And also as well, what I plan to do is be able to create a manual of what the programs is that I deliver, so that I can train up other associates can also deliver this too. So that's going to kind of be the main part and the main focus. But alongside of that, I've also got an idea for doing a program within the rehabilitation agenda. And that's going to be called Construction. And I've got the name and the idea from Mike Davis-Marks from Ethos, and I'm just kind of now taking that forward. So that's going to be a little bit of a CIC that will sit underneath the Gethin Jones Unlocking Potential umbrella. What it's going to be doing is I'm going to be looking to recruit prisoners within the prison system, and I'm going to be doing some personal development and awareness, but also creating some practical skills in relation to level 1 maths, level 1 English and CSES cards. I've also been talking to a business company called Blanchard and Wells, and they do a really, really good development apprenticeship program. They're willing to give me 5% of their places that I can use for prisoners coming out of custody. And I'm now going to be going through the process of seeing if I can get some accommodation that can support them when they come out, and also mentoring. So when they come out of custody, they'll have a work placement, some accommodation and a mentor. And with that in place, there's a much higher chance of them becoming rehabilitated and not having to go back into the system.
I've used the word amazing a few times when I talk to you. I'll use it again unashamedly. It's amazing what you're doing. I'm so glad that Shaping's part of your journey. Yeah. We are in small, but we're here to help you. And that last piece, again, for what you're doing for society, has a value that is almost incalculable. So congratulations, and we'll do whatever we can to help you make that.
I have got a call to action for that as well.
Okay, go on then.
Because what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a fundraising event, because I need some money and time to be able to create what it is that I want to do in the rehabilitation side of it. So I'm going to be looking to create an event. I'm hopefully going to get it sponsored by the construction industry, and then what I'm going to be doing is inviting lots of people around so I can kind of showcase what it is that I'm going to do and see how other people can help me so I can help others. So any way you can help publicise that or support me within the event, I'll be very, very happy.
Gethin, you can count on us to do that. Thank you very much indeed for your time again today.